want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
We are the Mad Men of Masculinity.
Your home for healthy masculinity. We're just real men having real conversations for you.
And we're live. Kirk's frozen because he's sharing, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
We'd love to share with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Kirk M. Samuels.
And I am Jason B. Kendrick.
And we are the Mad Men of Masculinity.
That's right. We're just real men having real conversations for you.
For you.
He's doing the finger thing.
I'm doing the finger thing.
If you're listening to us on the radio, you can't see the finger. You
it's like
have to
a
get
doctor's
online.
appointment.
Hey, don't go there.
A lot of you guys out there,
Don't
you know
go
what I'm
there.
talking about.
Don't go there.
You know what I'm talking about, man. Don't act like brand new. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to talk about no fingers nowhere.
Just because you don't want to talk about it don't mean it don't happen.
That's right. Let's keep it quiet.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's keep that.
We'll just pretend it doesn't happen.
I'm gonna
I
pretend.
got a physical coming up pretty soon.
Well, good. Well, then they can tell you that you're.
And man, I'm going to be 50.
Ooh, that's a big physical.
Yeah, easy.
Ooh, that's
Easy. I don't want it to be a big thing. That's the problem. That's the problem, man.
They can be checking all your.
They'll be checking everything. They're going under the hood. They're checking everything, man. They're checking the belts and hoses and alternators and.
It's not just the oil change.
Oh no! Checking the exhaust system,
transmission,
they're checking the muffler. They're checking everything. Man. They're checking the catalytic converter. They're checking all that, man.
So no more leaded, all unleaded.
Yeah, man. It's getting real at this point, man. It's getting real. It's getting real, man.
At least they lube up the.
Hey man, let's not use the L word, man. Let's not use the L word, man. Let's not do that.
What's wrong with the L word?
Let's not do that, man. There's some words we don't use around here. That's where we can be boys, but we boys with boundaries, right? And couple of our boundaries, that's one boundary that we have. But we might be boys, but we don't use that word, man. We're gonna put that word. And we're gonna
use the other L word, not that L word.
Yeah. We use
love, but not.
There's another 4-letter L word that we're okay using. That's a 4-letter L word that we don't use around here.
See,
we don't use that, man.
See, and that's what I think that's why we're having this conversation tonight. Because there's actually different personality types for men, which I'm guessing coincides with why we use certain words, and we're comfortable with certain words, comfortable with certain things, and maybe not in other things.
I guess that's how we roll, man.
That's how we roll.
So yeah, today, man, you kicked it out, you threw it, man. You've been actually, you sent me this like a while ago, man, that we should talking about different personality types
for men.
Not necessarily. Now there's like Myers-Briggs and Enneagrams and all those kinds of things that, in my opinion, are probably more scientific than these.
They have more studies, I think.
Right. I think this one. I don't know. We got this little graphic, this little infographic, and it's copyrighted The Pleasant Personality. Whatever it is. This sounds pretty foo-foo-ish, man. I don't know. This sounds pretty rainbows unicorn. But whatever.
That goes in line with your first, because I think the first time, or not the first time, but the last time we saw this was with our friend Danielle with that Parker Social. She posted it on Facebook, but it had the men's and women's. Yeah. And you had a reaction.
Somebody posted it. I don't know if it was her, but somebody posted it. But I was kind of, I've had a kind of a interesting rough last couple weeks. I've been kind of sensitive in my feelings about some family loss and that kind of stuff, but maybe it was me, maybe I was just in my feelings. I will give it that. But when I read it, they had the different male personalities, and then they had the different female or women personalities. I think it was called the title of the infographic. And the one thing I noticed was that of these 6 what they call personalities, the way they characterize the men's were generally speaking all negative, or at least a negative slant, whatever, negative connotation. But the same exact personality names on the women's side was all like, they found a great way to spin it, and I'm like, how come we don't get that same curve, that same benefit of the doubt? Why is, the only one that was good was just the first one, but the rest of them I was kind of in my feelings.
I know, I get it, but I my response was, and I still stand by it, is I think men can handle it. So if it comes off sound a little negative or a little harsh, we're like, yeah, okay, because we're used to that.
You can't handle the truth. That's why we start off with that. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Most people can't handle the truth, man. Most people can't. So anyhow, I mean, as far as this is concerned, I don't know I don't know if this is necessarily truth. I think there's a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
I mean, consider whatever source. I don't know these people, but we can have our opinion.
Well, and
it's all opinion.
As I was researching this, and to your point, like this is a new thing that's coming out now.
Right.
I think with a lot of the Myers-Briggs, a lot of the other personality types or studies, this is another thing, and it's interesting because in the manosphere or in the kind of male world, we tend to only hear about one or two of these, and usually it's just the alpha.
Yeah.
You hear about the alpha male, and then the opposite, the beta male. But then in this one, and of course, this one has 6. I've seen others that have 7. I've seen some that have 5. Really? I've seen some that were just like 3.
I mean, how many letters in the Greek alphabet?
Well, there's lots. So,
man, I went to public schools. So I don't know nothing about it. I barely know my alphabet, let alone the Greek alphabet.
But they can keep on going. And the thing is, I think this is like most personality studies. It's good to have an idea of where your base is, but don't get stuck in that. Don't say, oh, well, I'm this, and that means I'm such and such, and then you become a victim to whatever that personality type is. But to give you guys an example of what we're talking about, what these 6 are, and kind of we'll run through them real quick, and then we'll actually dig into each one, because some of these will resonate differently for each person. But I think on this list, what's really funny, even to Kirk's point, some of the examples or what they call them are kind of funny. But I'll just get into reading this. So first one is the alpha, and they describe that as dominating and charismatic, the born leader, understands his priorities and always utilizes his time. Beta is the second one, modest and easygoing, ideal husband type. I have some different opinion.
I'm biting my lip.
Yeah, I have a different opinion there.
I'm over here just stewing in it.
Works a lot, but overshadows by his peers. The Gamma, introverted and super sensitive. The yes man at office. He has big plans, but lacks determination and focus. Omega, skillful and self-sufficient. The odd one in the wolf pack, laid back, not chasing success or money. So he's the lazy dude, the game player, whatever. I don't know. Delta, modest and hardworking, wants attention but can't get it. Works hard but unable to draw attention. That sounds like the doormat. I'm not sure. And then Sigma, super smart and extremely attractive, the manipulative mastermind. That sounds a little negative.
See?
He is super ambitious and his own boss.
See?
Go ahead and let it loose, man.
Dude, I mean, all right, so let's start at the beginning.
The beginning, alpha.
I'm just going, like I said, man, I'm going to try to keep my feelings out of this whole thing.
You can have feelings. You can have feelings.
It's about, to be masculine is about what you think.
Right.
And so think or perceive, right? So now the whole alpha, we've heard that all over the place, alpha, dominating and charismatic, and, it says the born leader and understands his priorities and always utilizes his time. We've heard that over and over again. And, okay, I think, a whole lot of people want the lion, but they don't want to hunt.
Right.
They want to be the lion, but they don't want to hunt. A whole lot of folks, they want to be this, they want to be that. And, I don't think these are necessarily what you aspire to be,
right,
or what it's nice or perceived to be. It's who you are,
right,
and it's accepting who you are and rolling with your gifts. I think, as opposed to what the garbage is that's typed in a stuff. I think that they're all kind of gifts, and when you all bring it together, when you bring it, it's like the A-team.
Yep.
Everybody got their talent. So. But the alpha, would be like Hannibal in the A-team. He's the leader and all that kind of stuff. But again, when you look at the A-team, they're all leaders. I mean, they're all gifted. When you look at the Marvel Avengers, they all got a superpower. So if you want to say the alpha is like, the leader of the pack or whatever you want to call it, the leader of the pack is still a bunch of wolves, right? So I don't think it's necessary for everybody to want to be the alpha. Because when you're the alpha, you're the tip of the spear. And the tip of the spear takes, the blunt of all the war, right? So I don't know. So start with that. That's kind of where.
Well, and it's interesting because I did more research than just this one. This was the most kind of easy one to print out for us to use. So it wasn't my favorite. One of the other ones I saw was the alpha and sigma dynamic, because the sigma was also in this other one, the born leader. But it was how they lead it. The alpha was much more the physical. I got to be in charge. I got to be the one up front. Whereas like the Sigma's leadership was more in the background, allowing other people to use their strengths, being more the emotional leader, or being the more kind of behind the scenes leadership. So it's not like rah rah. I got to be the alpha out front and be the physical leader of this whole thing, but like still showing the same kind of characteristics, but in a different way. And so, to your point, every one of us can be alpha at a certain place. And I think we even talked about this before, the myth of the alpha in the world today, because even a physically dominating quote unquote alpha male in a different circumstance or in a different arena would be the beta, would be the submissive, because that's not their arena. Say like you get the pro athlete, then he goes in the boardroom. He's not going to be the leader in that situation because that's not his strength.
Yeah. A lot of people would think, for example, a Navy SEAL. When you think of Navy SEAL, you think of an alpha, like an alpha dominant kind of man.
Right.
But if you've ever met a Navy SEAL, they probably fit in one of these other 5 categories. Yep. Well, if you've ever known or met a Navy SEAL, they're not the type to want to walk into a room and tell everybody to sit down and shut up. Like I said, you would probably find one of these of them fitting more or coming off more as one of these other personality types.
Well, and that's the thing too, because people get the wrong idea about what makes a successful like Navy SEAL or special operator, because it's more about how they get along and how they mesh with the other guys. So, and they actually have those different scales of, is he overly hyper aggressive? Is he too submissive? And there's somewhere in between where it's like, would you trust him with your wife? Is he somebody that you would trust with helping you move, or those kind of things? And those are the ones that are more likely to bring into that mission or into that service, because it's a team effort. So you can't have a bunch of 5 masculine dominating alphas, because then they just compete and butt heads. You got to have people that want to work together. So a lot of times this whole myth of the alpha being the one you want to be shows out in the world is not really. Like there is a place for that, but in most of the world, it's limiting.
Yeah, I mean, when it says the born leader, I mean, I think, and most people would agree, even leadership experts, that the best kind of leader is a servant leader.
Yeah.
Right. And so, again, what that alpha looks like, it's not the biggest, most swole, muscular, hairy, smelly dude in the room. A lot of times that born leader could be leading on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read about a leader like Jesus who washed feet. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can read about leaders who sacrificially give of themselves, for the sake of their team. So, so again, I think we glorify the alpha type, and now you got a lot of women that want to. I'm an alpha woman, right, and all that kind of stuff. Babe, yeah. Man, come on, don't get me started.
Or we're sticking with the men today.
I know.
Don't go that way. But it's interesting, like and a lot of this comes from that whole wolf pack mentality and the whole alpha wolf. Well, it's interesting when you really look at it, you get to those scientists who really study the wolves and nature. The alpha is usually in the back of the pack. He's leading from the back. He's covering the rear, basically. Yeah. So this whole idea of being the born leader and having to be out front, being physically dominating, I think has been blown out of proportion. And it may be by the alphas. It may be by the guys who want to be physically dominating, who want to be the leaders and won't take no for an answer.
Like I said, I think a lot of people want the juice, but they don't want the squeeze. Right. And I think if you want to be an alpha born leader, then I think you better be ready to serve. Mm-hmm. And I think you better have tough skin, because you got to be willing to just suck it up, and you got to be willing to just take it. You can't be sensitive and all these other kind of things. So I think we glorify that a bunch.
Yeah. Well, speaking of willing to serve, it's time for us to do our own bit of service.
Let's serve a break.
We're going to serve a break today. Mad Men and Masculinity on KLDC. We'll be right back.
Boom.
You're right there. Boom. I didn't like how my voice cracked there. I felt like I was a teenager again.
Man nectar right here. Man nectar.
I still don't like that. I still have issues with that name.
Man nectar, man. It's the nectar of manhood. You want to know what manhood tastes like? It tastes like this right here.
Yeah. That's what tastes like sweat and feet.
Ew, man. Why you gotta go there, man? That was creepy, man.
That's why it bothers me.
That was creepy, man. So these are the outtakes. Nikki, please don't include.
Don't run away. Don't run away.
It gets better. One day she's gonna throw all this stuff in there. Nice. Yeah. Please don't put his sweaty feet in.
Please don't.
That's nasty. Nice. If you need ammunition, if you ever need to bribe us, is that what you're saying?
So one of these days we're gonna get a video app, and then we're gonna get like a little MP, all of our outtakes in the mail. It's gonna be hilarious, and we're gonna feel bad about it.
All right, man. We gotta We got 5 of them to get through. 3 more segments.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
We're back.
We are the Madmen of Masculinity, KLBC, 1220 AM in the Mile High City on the interwebs. Everywhere. Shout out Crawford Broadcasting. Hey, folks, support local radio.
Please do.
Support local radio. I mean, there's 7 million podcasts out there, but support local radio. Real people in your community trying to make a difference. Support local radio, folks.
Yeah, just like
boys.
Just like small business, just like your mom and pop store.
Yeah.
Support your local radio station. It's
You know what I'm
free. You
saying?
can get in your car. You just turn it on. You got to turn the dial.
Yep.
We're right there with you. We're in the car with you, people.
Boom. So we're talking about different male personalities.
Yeah.
Half of this is garbage, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
that's
I think
just the old man in me coming out.
I think it's a lot of this is very surfacey, and people are just trying to create different names to call themselves by or things like that. But I do think a lot of stuff is, there's some truth to it. But then again, I think it's a bit
Malarkey.
There's some plastic to it. There's definitely some like I'm showing out, or I want a new name for myself, because I mean, who wants to be the beta male, modest and easygoing, ideal husband type? Let's talk about that.
Again, see,
Let's talk about that.
That's why I think this is such a feminist centric, view of this whole list.
I mean,
not only that one kind of got me twisted, and then that's what made me read the other one that was for women personalities. I was like, wait a minute, man, hold up. I mean, this is not. I mean, the ideal. So we in our culture we have a negative stigma towards beta males, beta men, all this other kind of stuff. Nobody says I want to be a beta male,
right? And then the fact that it says ideal husband. So, like,
really,
how many women do we know want a beta male?
How many women are married to a beta man and hate it?
Right. Well, that's what we hear a lot, especially from a lot of our red pill manosphere brothers out there. It's alpha. Oh, I can't say that on the air. I don't even know if there's a way I can even paraphrase that. But it's
don't get us kicked off.
Let me try this.
Don't get us fined.
Alpha does, beta bucks, but you got to rhyme the bucks with the other. Yeah. So that's the thing. Is like the beta male, quote unquote, ideal husband type from this list right here is because he's a hard worker. He pays the bills. He's just not exciting. He's not the alpha bad boy.
Here it says modest and easygoing, works a lot, but overshadowed by his peers. I mean, is that really?
That sounds sexy to ladies.
Yeah. Oh, I want that. I want that kind of. Ooh, girl.
Give me somebody. Give me a man that's overshadowed at work.
Give me a beta man. I want one that work. He's really hard working, but he's overshadowed by everybody around him. That means don't nobody see him. That means he in the background everywhere he go. Don't nobody notice him. He ain't doing nothing significant. That's the one I want, girl.
This reminds me of Office Space with what's his name? I got Mike Stapler.
Yeah,
Mike Stapler.
I forgot the dude's name.
I don't even remember his name. It doesn't matter. You go back and watch Office Space.
He likes the swing line. He likes the swing line.
That's Mike Stapler. I'll burn this place down.
The beta. See, and I hated the fact that we have a negative connotation in our culture about beta men. Yeah. Beta males. But in this stupid infographic, this stupid chart, it says ideal husband type. Really? Yeah. I've never met a woman who said a beta man is.
Well, I'm wondering, like, is it the beta men that are saying they're the ideal husband type?
No,
because
I'll tell you what it is.
What is it?
It's the quote unquote alpha women who are saying alpha woman is saying a beta man is your ideal husband.
Right, because she's the boss babe, so he stays home and does the housework.
He does what she wants him to do.
I got you.
He is overshadowed by her.
Yes. So he is your ideal husband type if you were the alpha boss babe.
If you're
you won't respect him. Yeah, you won't respect him. You won't feel sexually attracted to him, but he's your ideal husband type.
I mean, but at the same time, I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy that's modest and easygoing.
No, not at all. Some of the best guys out there are easygoing, like just modest, and they're not out there showing, trying to be the center of attention. Because some of the quote unquote alpha dudes I know are exhausting. Yeah. Yeah, exhausted. I can't have a meeting while this dude trying to take over.
The one that's trying too hard. Yeah, you know that dude. Everybody know that dude. His name is probably like Steve or something.
it's Chatter Brad, and he wears lots of affliction.
His name is Zach. No, I'm kidding.
He's got a lot of bedazzled t-shirts.
Zach, my boy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not talking about you. Zach.
No, he's far from.
The other Zach.
He's far from. But I just think I now it makes sense. This was written from an alpha woman, boss babe perspective, and so that says that a beta man is an ideal husband type.
Well, it does say the pleasant personality, so obviously it's probably on the feminine side. Pleasant personality.
Pleasant.
And then there's a couple here like the gamma, omega, delta. Like some of these.
What's the gamma?
The gamma is introverted and super sensitive.
Okay.
So that sounds a bit like beta to me as well. It says the yes man at the office has big plans but lacks determination and focus. I got big plans and sometimes I lack determination and focus. Does that mean I'm a gamma male with a yes man at the office?
Sounds like it. But based on the actual narrative storyline, the Incredible Hulk is a gamma man.
See, gamma man, yes, got the gamma radiation.
Got shot by the gamma radiation. But introverted and super sensitive. See, you see what I'm saying? There's an agenda behind this thing, man. We got to be able to see through these things.
Right.
I see through it.
They're definitely poking.
I see through it, man. They trick me, man. I see through it.
I see what you're trying to do.
I see through the agenda right there. I see
what's going on here.
You know what I'm saying?
Once again, trying to put the man down.
You know what I'm saying? But a gamma, introverted and super sensitive. Why you got to put in super sensitive? Can you be introverted without being super sensitive?
Yeah.
So why they got to put in super sensitive?
I don't know. Maybe he's super sensitive. I don't know.
The yes man at the office.
Yeah.
And
so basically,
yes man is in quotes.
Yeah, basically what they're saying is he has no spine and no backbone.
Right.
And so he's the yes man. Which,
has big plan but lacks determination.
That sounds like, how many times we talk about nice guys and nice guy syndrome? That's part and parcel of that. But, and then the Omega guy. Skillful and self-sufficient, the odd one in the wolf pack. So basically saying like he's the odd man out, laid back, not chasing. See, and this is the other thing, dude. They're contradictory. Skillful and self-sufficient, but laid back, not chasing success and money.
Again, so there's to me overlap between the Omega and the Gamma.
See?
The Gamma says has big plans but lacks determination and focus, and then the Omega says laid back, not chasing success or money.
Yeah, there's some. They're overly simplistic.
Hey, by the way, if anybody's watching this live, send us a little comment on there. Put a little comment up there. What do you think about any of these?
Let us know what you think, or if some of these descriptions trigger you or make you feel like, oh yeah, that's me. Let us know, because we would like to find some. Because I know in some of the other descriptions, like the Sigma sounds.
Well, we still got like 2 more seconds.
All right.
But but just right now, like I said, in the comparison between the beta and the gamma.
Yeah.
In the beta and the gamma, it's like one works a lot but is overshadowed by his peers, and the other one has big plans but lacks determination and focus.
Right.
So it's like, does the gamma not, because you're introverted and super sensitive?
Do you not work a lot, but you're the yes man at the office? See, that doesn't make any sense, because if you're the yes man at the office, I guarantee you're working a lot, because all the alpha sales dudes and all the other guys and the bosses are like, here, do my work for me. Oh, yes, boss.
Dude, it's an agenda. I see through it.
It is.
I see through it, man.
See, we have to go do some more research and get some of the other ones that actually are pro male, because this one obviously is not.
I'm telling you, man, there's an agenda out there. There's an agenda. Somebody emailed a pleasant personality, telling the Mad Men of Masculinity, call them out, and they got an agenda and
against the men.
Anti-healthy masculinity. It's anti-men.
I think it is.
I think it is.
The more we're talking about this, the more you point out. It really it makes sense why when you add it. I wish I had printed out the ladies ones.
I'm telling you,
because they were all positive.
Yeah,
every
single one of them was positive.
Yeah,
none of them had a negative the connotation. Every single one of them was, it gave her the benefit of the doubt. Gave her the benefit of the doubt. It was like, come on, man.
It's the same old. You go, girl. You boss, babe. You do whatever. It's all good.
At some point, we got to deal with reality.
Yeah.
Like at some point, we got to. If everything goes both ways, everything is like it goes both ways. If everything goes both ways, and if we're all equal, if we're all the same, if that's the agenda we're going with, then guess what? This thing doesn't have a different male personality, different women personality. It's just different personality.
Right.
How about we all be the same? If you're a beta, then you're ideal. So, that's a good question. Is a beta woman? Is that an ideal wife?
Well, let's see. If she's modest and easygoing, works a lot, but overshadowed by
somebody behind you on the other side of the window is not no. If you're watching this on the screen, you know what I'm talking about. So that's a great question, though, man. So is a beta woman an ideal wife?
Well, if you look at what a masculine man, most like high value masculine men want, they want a modest, easygoing, feminine woman who maybe isn't overshadowing them. So, could be.
Works a lot, but overshadowed by her peers.
See, I don't think that I wish we had the female version because it did not say that.
Would you want a hardworking wife who doesn't like seek a lot of attention? I got you. I got you.
Maybe.
I got you.
Maybe.
See, I got you. I'm
Maybe.
telling you, man, like for real. I mean, so
well, and that's the thing too is like when we have work versus home life.
Yeah.
We all want everybody like I want to be successful at work. You want to be successful at work. We want our wives to be successful at work. But then when we come home, there's a different dynamic.
Everybody can't be the alpha.
That's true. See, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to try to be the alpha.
Everybody can't be the alpha.
So can we make it okay to be the beta woman?
Uh-oh, you about to get canceled. Hey, I just want y'all to know that was him, that wasn't me. Don't cancel me, cancel him. Cancel him. It's going to be Madman of Masculinity.
I'm asking
Tomorrow's show is Madman of Masculinity because JBK is about to get canceled.
I'm just saying, I didn't make a statement. I asked a question. Is it okay? Is it okay? Hey, you want us to be Hey, let's put it right here. The ladies want us to be the ideal husband type as a beta male who's modest and easygoing, works a lot, but is overshadowed at work. Is that the ideal husband type, really? That's not the feedback I've been getting.
I'm just saying.
That's not what we hear on the streets.
Hey, ladies, if you don't want a beta man, do you want an alpha man? And if you want an alpha man, are you willing to be a beta wife?
Ooh, see?
Ooh.
Polarization. How many times we talk about polarization?
See?
You got to have the opposites to attract.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? That was Colonel Jessup. Colonel Jessup on the stand. I'm telling you, Lieutenant McAfee, he had him in a corner. Who did you order the code red? Who ordered the code red on masculinity? But I mean, I think it's a viable topic, man.
It is. I think what's so much fun about this topic is we thought we were going one way, and it's turned all the way around again.
So what do we want? How do we want it?
How do you want it?
How do you want it? You know what I'm saying? So, okay, Omega.
Skillful and self-sufficient, the odd one in the wolf pack, laid back, not chasing money. So see how that is contradictory? Skillful and self-sufficient. I'm skillful and self-sufficient, but I'm not as laid back and not chasing money and success.
You're kind of odd.
Well,
you're kind of the odd one in the back.
I skipped over that for a reason. Why you got to blow me up?
I just wanted to make sure you didn't leave that out.
All right. I'm the odd one.
I want to keep it real. I want to keep it real, man.
Well, you're hanging out with me, so.
I'm odd too. I mean, if you odd, I'm even. You know what I'm saying? You ivory, I'm ebony.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Positive and negative. Here we are.
So, and he's laid back. This is Omega, man. Laid back, not chasing success or money.
Maybe that is me. I'm pretty laid back. I'm chill.
I can be laid back, at times too. I can be very high strung.
Yeah.
But I can also be laid back.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, not, I will say that I don't chase success or money. I don't know if that's good or bad or not, but I mean, I have achieved a lot of things in life and I want to be successful, but I'm not defined by my success and I'm not defined by money. I'm not defined by stuff. My car is 10 years old. I could afford a bigger house than I live in. I mean, I don't, most of my clothes come from Costco.
Yeah.
I'm just being totally honest, or you.
Well, I mean,
over the past year, half of my wardrobe has come from Costco or Jason B. Kidd.
Got my hand-me-downs. But I mean, that begs the question: what is chasing?
I don't know.
I mean, we can be successful and have money, but does that mean just because we have it, we're not chasing it, or is chasing it mean that's your only focus?
I don't know.
What
if we chase a break?
Let's chase a break, man.
Let's chase a break. Madman of Masculinity, KLDC 1220 AM. We'll be right back. Dude, that was a great spin, though.
It was. I mean,
you got to ask these questions.
I like
man.
that segue.
How do you want it? How do you want it? And I'm still chewing on that, man. Do I want a beta wife?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, and that's one of the things too that we got to bring up in the next segment. It's like,
oh, she's pulling her microphone close.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. What you got?
Here we come. She put her microphone in.
Mm-hmm. But that's not how it's. Mm-hmm. Right, but that's not how it's like portrayed out in the media, even on these things. They're doing that.
And I would say that the lack of feminine energy is the presence of masculine energy.
Yes.
I don't think there's a zero, a neutral in that whole thing. I think, it's either one or the other. Now, we may not like that. It may not sound good. It may not fit into what we want. But I think, if you're not one, then you're the other. That's just honest.
Well, I mean, it's the whole thing of like, we're all a spectrum. Like as men, we have more masculine energy because we're men,
right?
But we still have feminine energy.
Yeah.
But when we're focused on one or the other primarily, then we all get out of balance. So
I think for the laws of polarity, you can't both be alphas.
No.
And I think you can't both be
not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Yeah.
Not at the same time.
And that's the thing too. I think the alpha beta relationship is over publicized and probably is the least healthy. When you get into some of these other ones, it might be more balanced.
Yeah. All right, boom.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Mad Men and Masculinity on KLDC, 12:20 a.m. in the Mile High City. And tune in digital radio. We're also on the interwebs everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everywhere you get a podcast, all that kind of stuff. You can tell Alexa to, listen to or tune in to KLDC. You can say, Alexa, play KLDC.
We just told her to do it.
If you listen to this at home, just say, Alexa, play KLDC. And you can do that Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m.
No, Saturdays at 8 a.m.
Saturday. What did I say? Saturday mornings at 8 a.m.
Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Boom.
We know what we're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Whatever.
Of course you mean.
So we had super producer Nikki Nicola chime in during the break. If you aren't watching us on YouTube or Facebook, and she had some interesting points. She also thinks this list is crap, and we agree with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the do you think that the alpha male versus the alpha female are different?
Ooh, those are good things to think about, man. I personally, I think they're the same.
Yeah.
I think they're the same. I'm sorry. I gotta say, I think the alpha male and the alpha, well, I say the same, meaning they're both trying to arrive at the same place.
Right.
I think it's largely disingenuous for a feminine being to be a masculine being, or to have a masculine energy, I guess you could say. I think a lot of women are pushed in the direction of having to be or having to live that role. But I also know beyond a shadow of a doubt that women who are forced into these masculine roles hate it.
Yeah.
Hate having to be the protector, the provider, the do everything, or to make everything happen and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. I think they're being sold a bill of goods, and a lot of them enjoy it initially when they're younger. But then as they get closer to 35 and the wall and all those things, which kind of is a thing, even though they say it's not, it tends to happen after the fact. They go, oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole be an alpha boss babe or be the alpha male, like what I've seen, and one of the things that we brought up during the break was, I think the alpha beta thing is kind of been overplayed, and it's really much more the black and white thing, like either or, instead of being a mix of, as men, we have masculine and feminine energy, but we're mostly masculine because we're men. The ladies have both feminine and masculine energy, but they're mostly feminine because they're women, until they're pushed to be mostly in their masculine.
Yeah. So anyhow, so where are we at on this thing, man? We'll circle back on all these.
All right. We're down. So we've gone through alpha, we've gone through beta, gamma, omega.
What about delta?
Delta. Modest and hardworking, wants attention, but can't get it.
Is that the airline or? I'm sorry.
Nowadays, yes.
Squirrel.
Works hard, but unable to draw attention. That sounds like the airline.
Delta. Wants attention, but can't get it.
So, I mean,
how many of us want attention, but can't get it?
Right.
To me, that sounds like a lot of narcissims I see on social media. They want attention, but they can't get it.
I'm going to let you get canceled this episode.
So, I'm just saying, dude. And so they get on there and they put, selfies, me-ease with, body parts in bikinis doing stretching and yoga. Not saying no names, you know what I'm talking about. Just for giggles, all that kind of stuff. And just like, come on, man, you're trying too hard. You want attention, but you can't get it.
Well, what about the dudes that do the same thing?
I don't know a lot of dudes that do that. Do you?
Not really, no.
How many, seriously, when you think of all the people you see on social media at the gym posing, do you think female or male these days?
More ladies, but
yeah.
What I do think is funny is most of the guys that do that are the quote unquote alpha guys. They're the physically stronger. They're trying to be alpha. So they
are they trying to, or are they? See, that's the thing. A lot of people are something different, but they're trying to be something else.
Right. That's true, because it's like most real leaders, or most, most real leaders don't have to say, like, most dangerous men don't have to tell you they're dangerous.
Right.
Most people who have a skill set don't have to tell you that.
Right.
So what are you promoting? What are you trying to hide? And why can't you accept whatever you is?
Yeah. So this Delta, modest and hardworking. Yeah. So this is
this sounds like beta to me just as well.
They kind of, modest and hardworking. So this is the proverbial guy under the hood of the car, just kind of doing his work, doing his thing. But to me, that doesn't line up with wants attention but can't get it.
Right. Well, I mean,
if you're modest, you don't want attention.
Yeah. Well, let's compare. I mean, I think this is another overlap. Modest and easygoing is beta. Modest and hardworking is delta. Works a lot but overshadowed by his peers, beta. Works hard but unable to draw attention. It sounds like basically the same thing.
I'm telling you, man, I see through it. I see through it, man.
You got X-ray glasses on.
Agenda. There's an agenda here, man. We got to pay attention to this stuff. It's right there in front of us, man. They trying to do it to us all. It's right there in front of us.
Cracking me up. But it's true. I think you're right. Like the beta and the delta are like the same. The gamma and the omega sound the same. I mean, and even like I talked about before, and some of these other ones I've seen, like the sigma and alpha are the same, but they're just different ways of doing things. Like the alpha is much more the extroverted, in your face, want to be leader. The sigma is much more the introverted. And that's what's funny about this. I'm just going to read this because I tend to relate more with the other descriptions of sigma than some of these. But the manipulative mastermind says super smart and extremely attractive.
That's clearly not you.
That's clearly, at least the first part. I'll take the first part. I'm about the second part.
Yeah.
But the manipulative mastermind, I mean,
I don't know, man.
I can be manipulative, but I mean,
you manipulate me into playing golf all the time.
Well, that's for your own good.
Think I can actually go out and play.
That's for your own good. You got the hole in one.
You make me believe.
You got the hole in one.
You make me believe when I hit this ball, it's going to actually go straight down the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
You make me believe that, man. You're a manipulative mastermind.
Yeah, I am. Okay. But I'll take that.
I get it.
It says he is super ambitious and his own boss. Okay, cool. I still work for somebody else, but I mean, like, and that's the thing, is trying to box and identify and put everybody in these little labels.
Yeah.
I think all of us will gravitate towards one of these, but we're going to be a combination of different things. But so many of these sound like just different versions of the same thing.
Absolutely, man. And they contradict each other
quite a bit.
It says he is super ambitious and his own boss. Again, that sounds a whole lot like alpha, but not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anything, I would put that under alpha, and then understands his priorities and always utilizing his time. Put that under sigma.
Yeah, that actually fits better.
But I just think this is some modern feminist agenda that's trying to just throw the kitchen sink at us. And
they're trying to figure men out again.
Throw out a bunch of sparklies and try to confuse us and then punch us in the face while we're looking around.
Y'all trying to figure out men again, and you're making it more complicated than it is.
Absolutely.
Why can it make it so complicated?
We're not that complicated. We're really not. There's not this many categories of men. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you there ain't no 6 categories, 6 personality types of men.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably narrow this down to like
consolidate these things.
We name down to 3, and it'd be the introverted alpha or extroverted alpha or whatever. I don't know, but I think it's just the whole human nature. If we want to label things, we want to put a label on it so we can try to understand it better and maybe understand ourselves better. But the trap is with that, once you say I am X, Y, or Z, then you become identified with that and you think that you're a victim to that. But we all have a home base. That's why we do all the personality assessment stuff. And yes, because of our childhood and our upbringing, there'll be a home base, there'll be a personality type or a way of being we lean towards. But we're not stuck there. I think sometimes when we do these things and get stuck in all this labeling, we become a victim to that label. We say, well, I'm a such and such, so that means I'm this way. But that takes your power away of being whatever you want to be. And the most successful people in the world are the ones who can be who they need to be when they need to be it. You look at like Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King and JFK and all these successful people. You think they were an alpha or they were the leader? You think they were the beta at some point, taking a step back and allowing other people to lead? You think they were the ones who maybe promoted or were the analysts sometimes? I mean, mixing up this list with other lists, but they have the capacity of being more in the center of these things and doing whatever is necessary. So yeah, I think it's good to have these things in some aspects, but I think it's very dangerous as well. It's kind of the double-edged sword aspect.
I think the best thing about this list is that we got a whole show out of it.
Almost. We still got another segment.
Well, we gonna get another. We gonna get another segment out of this.
We'll get into it.
I guarantee I'm gonna hear that. We gonna get on another segment. I think, this list, because like I said, off the rip, I can guarantee you there's 6 categories of men. This is not.
I have no idea.
Not personality types. But to your point, I think overshadowing it all. Well, I'm gonna save all that to the end. But I think, I think, from just on the surface, there's not 6 categories of men. A lot of these things contradict each other. But I have a question for you.
What's that?
Well, and you do have to know yourself in order to know where you fit in on the Marvel Avengers of life. Because I think all of these could be gifted. My question for you is, if you were picking a wife, which one of these would you want?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if we had the
Stand by, Jason's about to get canceled.
Female one or not. I would want a mix.
Come on, man. No, you don't get a mix.
Well, I'm just saying.
You get one.
See?
No, you get one.
Oh, wow. See, that's difficult.
You had 6 women lined up in front of you, and they had this hanging around there as a name tag. And this is what you're going to get for the rest of your life. Like, literally, for the rest of your life, on your deathbed, this is the last face you're going to look at.
I mean, if I had to pick out of this list, I'd have to go with Beta.
Why?
Modest and easygoing. I want someone who's not going to be domineering, who's not going to be in their masculine all the time. I want someone who's going to be easy to get along with. And the modest thing, I mean, nowadays especially, so many ladies are putting all their stuff out on social media, and it's detrimental to the relationship, it's detrimental to the trust factor, all these other things. So, yeah, I guess maybe we should change this to ideal wife type.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, if I had to go off this list, but I mean, like I said, I would probably want some sort of mix of a few of these, because and that's human nature. There's not just going to be one thing. They're going to have different characteristics, and then you slide from one to the other depending on what you're doing. So that's why I think these lists sometimes can be dangerous, because you can identify with some of those characteristics, but are you stuck with that?
So, gun to your head, you would say Beta.
I would say Beta, because I'm looking at the other ones. I mean, introverted and super sensitive. I don't want a super sensitive woman. Most ladies are already very sensitive, and super sensitive sounds like a headache. Skillful and self-sufficient. Well, what does she need me for? Modest and hardworking. That sounds nice. But then this one, wants attention but can't get it. That sounds like needy or codependent. Manipulative mastermind. That doesn't sound like fun at all. In the guise of a woman. They get manipulated anyway.
Boom. We're getting manipulated by this list. Especially when you look at the other one.
Yeah. I wish we had the. You know what? If you're watching this, go ahead and look up the other one. All you gotta do is type in Google the different male personalities, and then you'll see the female one.
The Pleasant Personality is these people's website. Hot garbage.
I'm not even sure we should be promoting
this hot. No, I mean, I want people to see the hot garbage that's out there. I want you to see what kind of junk. I'm gonna use that 4-letter word. People are putting out there. Gun to my head. I'm with you. I'd like a Beta wife.
Yeah.
A gun with you. A gun to my head. Same thing.
Yeah. If that's all I had to choose from out of this list, so that would
if
be
I
the
had
best
6
thing.
women lined up, that would be the one I'd want.
Yeah. And that's not saying that there's anything wrong with being modest and easygoing.
For me. Yeah. I'm just, for me, that's what I want.
I was gonna say, what was that pause about? It sounded like you had a
for
thought.
me, that would be my ideal wife.
Well, I think most men in their masculine energy, that would be the ideal. Now, granted, is that our experience nowadays?
No, not at all. Especially with this agenda, I feel like that's out there of
the agenda on this paper.
I'm talking about the agenda of ladies. You got to be alphas.
Yeah,
you got to be an alpha woman, and you got to be, boss babe, and you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be this, you got to be that. I think that clear agenda out here, the modern feminist agenda, is creating a bunch of false alpha women who really just want to settle in their feminine and not have to be all of things that our culture is telling women that they have to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the term alpha connotates kind of this masculine mindset.
Like, do you really want to be in charge? Do you really want to pay for the date? Do you really want to open car doors? Do you really want to go get up when you hear bump in the night? You know, do you really, really, really want to go, you know, jump out of airplanes and parachute into hostile territory and go rescue, you know, POWs? Like, do you really want to do everything? Do you really want to be the sole provider and make sure that you're providing a home for him? Like, do you really want all that? You know,
Well, I mean, that's the truth that a lot of the modern feminist narrative and the ladies who buy into it cannot handle nowadays. They're trying to tell you don't need men, but I don't see any of you out there fixing roofs or pouring blacktop or, you know, on construction sites pouring concrete or doing rebar or electricity, you know, doing electrical or the plumbing. I mean, yeah, and I've said it before, and you know, they haven't canceled us yet, so I'll say it again. If you think you don't need men, move out into the woods. Build yourself a house, go hunt your own food, go grow your own food, and do it all without men.
Yeah. You don't need the wrong man.
Right. Well, okay.
That's the thing. That's what gets left out. You don't need the wrong man, but you do need the right man.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel confident in saying that, ladies. You need NEED, 4-letter word. You need the right man because he is going to make your life better. He's going to make your life everything that you want your life to be. The right man is going to come in. He's going to provide that space. He's going to provide that safety, that support, that provision. He's going to provide all of those things that makes your life easier. When you get to that moment, he's going to already be there, making that moment better for you. So you need the right man in your life. You're a better mom. You're a better wife. You're a better sister. You're a better daughter. You're a better woman. You're a better friend when you have a good man in your life.
Well, let's just get down to the truth of the fact that men and women need each other.
Yes.
Men provide and women create. So if we as men cannot create babies, we cannot procreate, but we need you to do that. You need us to provide the seed. We need you to provide the egg. We need each other. This whole divide and conquer mentality that is going on, that is so prevalent nowadays, that so many people are buying into, is making us all crazy.
Boom. Hey, I know what won't make me crazy.
A break.
Let's take a break, man.
All right, we'll take a break. Mad Men of Masculinity on KLDC, 1220 AM in my hot seat. We'll be right back.
That was a great spin.
You like that spin?
I did.
Okay.
And she's back there nodding. She's co-signing. You know, the choir.
It's all about you.
Yeah, she's back there like,
you happy.
You right. Go. Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grab the other headphones so we can actually hear her, because we're going to need this.
Well,
we might have to chime her in on this next episode because she's got the list.
All right. I don't know, man. Do we have time to set this up?
Yeah, all I got to do is plug it in. We're going to put you on number.
What are we doing?
1.
So, folks, we're bootlegging this thing. We're trying to get her voice at least online here. Wait a minute. Hold up. I'm stuck. All right. On number 1. These headphones are number 1.
Okay. Got her plugged in?
Yeah. If you turn up number 1, they can hear you. So what did you just say?
Yeah, we got it set up. All right, we'll come back and then we'll bring you in because you got the list. Yes. No.
Hey, let's be back. We're back.
Mad Men of Masculinity. And we're talking personality stuff.
And we're trying to get super producer Nick Nicole in here.
Yeah, because we've been talking about this list and how it's skewed. And I said we wish we had the female list. Well, she pulled it up.
We should just have her come in here.
Well, you just want to come in here and just make it easy?
She's coming in here. She had some great opinions and some great input and all that kind of stuff. She looked up the female list and I think she this was number 1. I think she had some great insight into that whole thing in terms of just the list itself. I mean, and I think she looked on the woman's side too. But
and she actually said, we didn't prompt her or anything.
No,
we'll let her say it too. But she actually said that she can see how it's skewed.
Yeah. No doubt.
It's a little bit skewed.
And so I think, again, lists like this, we gotta be careful.
It's kind of one of those things.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, it was kind of those things like anything in the media, like what is their agenda? What are they trying to push, and what are they trying to cover up?
Right. So, what's your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
Okay, so they start out with the alpha female description,
Yes.
which clearly is biased, same as the men's one, because it starts with she's confident.
Oh my goodness!
So are they saying like literally you can only be a confident person if you're an alpha female?
Apparently,
like every other female type has confidence issues.
She ain't lying.
Well, what do the other ones say that are?
Let's see. The next one is she's self-assured.
The beta is self-assured?
No,
Oh,
still on the alpha.
Oh.
Yeah, the alpha is self-assured.
Okay, so she's confident and self-assured.
So confident and self-assured.
Okay.
Powerful.
Ooh, powerful.
Which, because apparently strength. I mean,
I don't know.
Betas can't be strong apparently.
Right.
So, and then she's a leader.
Of course.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. The beta female. Let's see. She is unreactive.
Unreactive.
She is anxious. She is friendly.
Friendly. Oh, she's unreactive, anxious, and friendly.
Yes, because alpha females, they can't be friendly.
Can't be friendly.
They're always going to
boss
be between
babes.
one.
Right.
So, and they are eager to help.
Eager to help.
Now, see, I always thought that was a people-pleasing trait that had to do with psychology and had nothing to do with my personality type.
Right.
But apparently, that's a beta thing.
Okay.
Let's see.
So if I like to help, that means I'm a beta because I'm helpful.
Yes.
So I like to. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's see. The gamma female is independent.
Oh, she's independent.
Organized.
Oh.
Driven.
I thought that was the alpha.
Oh, she's also confident too.
Oh,
so she ties in with the alpha that way. So let's see. That's about all on that one. So pretty much the same.
But you can kind of see at Kirk's point that if they're all the ones on the lady side were very positive.
Yeah.
And all these were kind of like these manipulative pokes, like kind of subversive, like
And so just read the middle section on the last three.
Okay,
And
let's see.
You'll get what I'm saying.
Let's see. Last week, middle section. So like the she's driven.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. The gamma female is going to go after what she wants in life, and there is very little you can do to stop her. When an idea is planted in her head, she believes in, the gamma female will use her inner drive to ensure she reaches her goal.
Okay.
Yeah. Very girl power.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, these things, they're presenting these things as different personality types and whatnot, but realistically, they're not individual things.
Well, that's what we were talking about this one. Like, it looks to me like even with the guy ones, of course, granted, this is kind of skewed, but the alpha and the sigma are like the introverted, extroverted, leader type, and then the beta and delta are like the introverted, extroverted, gamma, omega. So it's like they're basically the same thing, but one's more introverted, one's more extroverted. But like me, I'm one of these ambiverts. I can be introverted. I'm out on the show being extroverted. I mean,
well, yeah, and that's kind of the big thing that really messes it up, And even then you throw in the energies, like alpha. Okay, most of the alphas I know have terrible healthy masculinity.
Oh yeah,
like they are
very
not
toxic,
the masculine type at all. But then you take like betas. Okay, my father's a beta. My father's a massive beta, but he is very masculine,
right?
As far as healthy masculinity goes. So it's really just more labels to keep us divided.
Right.
So
that's what we're coming to. Is like this is just another way for people to go, well, this is what you are, so that's what you are, and I can judge you one other way.
Yeah,
I think it is. It's categories. Now there may be 6 types of women. 6,000 types of personality women. I mean, and women hate being put in boxes, right? And so wherever there's a personality, there'll be I'm kind of this and kind of that. So there's the one-offs kind of thing.
Well, I mean, the lady's favorite thing in the world is the exception to the rule.
And I'm great with all that kind of stuff. By the way, I don't have a problem with any of that because I think that's the beauty of femininity, like the expression and just the flow and the ebb and the flow and the cloud and all those kinds of things. I love the shapelessness of femininity. I can guarantee you, though, there's not 6 personality types of men. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
You heard it here first.
And with
Kurt's
that,
opinion.
yeah, I mean, I'm for sure that. And but like I said, I mean, when it comes to these personality types, you got to be able to read through all that kind of stuff and not let yourself be labeled. Can't let yourself be put in a, just here's what I mean. But at the same time, you do have to understand who you are. And that's why I think, the personality types, like the more scientific ones, the Myers-Briggs and the Enneagrams and all those things, I think those things are probably more go-to in terms of who you are as a person.
But those fall in the same category too, though, because even with those, they'll put you in a category and say, well, this is your personality type, this is who you are, but you're more than that, or less than that, or whatever. But eat the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah.
Take what works for you and let go of the rest.
Right.
But we do think that this, as to paraphrase Nikki Nicole, super producer, this list is kind of BS.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
Just like the show is entertainment. Please don't think like this is like scientific. I don't care who you are. Don't ever think this show is like scientific.
I got my degree out of a Cracker Jack box. So
you know what I'm
don't
saying?
take that and I say seriously.
We got more opinions than This is all opinion. This is all hearsay.
It's just a fun. So this is a fun episode.
So all this kind of stuff, you look at it, you evaluate it for yourself. You like you said, keep the meat, spit out the bones, all those kinds of things. But a lot of it is just entertainment.
And we'd love to entertain you. We hope you will like and subscribe. You'll find us on Facebook, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can get a podcast. And we are still looking for those of you who like what we do and want to partner up with us. We are doing some of those win-win situations.
Yeah. Support the show. Support local radio. Holler at your boys. We love to partner with you. We love to put you on these airwaves. All over the Rocky Mountain Front Range, all over the world. Digitally. We love to partner with all you kind of. And if nothing else, tell somebody about us. Like, subscribe, tell us what you think, comment. You love us, you hate us.
Especially if you hate us.
You hate us. Oh, please tell us.
We'll get so much more traction that way.
For real. And depending on how much you tell us you hate us, I might get the baby powder out. Baby powder. With the 5 finger say to the face.
And on that note, we love y'all. Mad Men
out.